All right, so I'd like to do this video for people who work in the radiology field and they would like to move up. How to become a radiology manager or radiology director. I noticed that with a lot of other healthcare areas, primarily nursing, nursing has so many different platforms where you can get into leadership because they have a nursing ladder there at the hospital, which is basically where they have people who are in leadership that will grab someone and they'll take them by the hand and they teach them um, how to become a nurse leader. A lot of hospitals have their own programs that will get you all the way almost up to the point of how to be a CNO. And if not, then every college has some nurse practitioner or some other program set up so that you can step into a nursing leadership role. But for radiology, for a lot of people, they're even unaware of what's out there for them. They may be working night shift somewhere or weekend somewhere, or maybe they've looked up on a supervisor position, but they don't know how to step into a manager or director position. And they may not have a manager or director that's the type that feels inclined to grab them by their hand and bring them in and tell them this is what goes in this account, this is how we make purchases, this is how we decide who's going to get paid what, from a limited scope of what we can do to influence pay for a certain position. At some facilities that may be static. Um, you may just be given a budget and you just have to work with it. And then at others, they may be more involved and they may allow you to have input as a manager, director, whatever your position is, um, and take that into consideration. But uh, unfortunately, there's not always that person there for you. So, what is there for you? What can you do? Well, there's this amazing organization called the AHRA. The AHRA is an organization that is for radiology administrators and people who hope to soon to be radiology administrators. And they also have a certification that goes along with it that lets employers know that you are someone that uh, knows what's necessary to run a radiology department, to include asset management, to include financial management, who knows how to negotiate service contracts and equipment purchases, someone who is well versed in human resources and knows what should and should not be said to staff members and what you can and cannot do to encourage people to be model employees. So the CRA is actually given only twice a year. So you want to make sure that you study for it. They have these books that include all of that information. I suggest getting it on a PDF if you're trying to breeze through it and you're like me and you're very busy all the time. You can input the information into a app and have the app read the whole thing to you like an audiobook. It's amazing, and you still have the ability to look at the words and the graphs when you need to, so that you can look at that information and get it from a visual perspective to help you understand it better. So, how do you join the AHRA? It's just like joining the ASRT. And most people are already members of the ASRT because they need their net learning that they have to do to maintain their license as a radiology professional. This works the exact same way. Not anyone can take the CRA exam. You have to meet certain requirements. They're going to want you to have some leadership experience. It helps if you have, a college degree, additional modalities, but those are also not things that will stop you. They help, but they won't stop you, which is very important. And this certification is something that was created to make sure that people who have a background in radiology can have a step up, and you're not stuck working for someone who may not have a background in radiology and who may not be well versed in how the equipment works and radiation safety protocols. Now, this gives you the opportunity to get out there and make the changes that you would like to see in your work environment. And if you're passionate about healthcare, once you do this and you start on this journey, you will find that you will be equally as passionate about taking care of the people who take care of people, and supporting what I feel like is often an underrepresented group in the hospital. So when you get a chance, check out the AHRA and their CRA. Now, with the CRA, one thing that I've noticed is that now a lot of employers are starting to recognize the CRA as a method of determining whether or not someone is an applicant that is suitable for the positions that they have available as far as imaging leadership and beyond. Um, but there's still a lot of employers that when you go on Indeed or whatever website that you look at, that they may be requiring you to just have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, often in radiology, as if a bachelor's degree or master's degree in radiology is going to help you to be able to run the radiology department from the business side, when you need to have a better understanding of finance and accounting and coding and human resources. Um, so when you see those things, I encourage you to actually call the hospitals that has that position that's available and say, hey, I don't have that, but I have this, and I have this amount of experience. I've been a radiology technologist. I'm multimodality. I have my CRA, and they often will update that job description. So it's up to us to be able to kind of see to see what the opportunities are out there, and then to address those errors. You may not always be able to do it, but when you can help yourself and you can help other people who work in imaging. All right. So I hope you guys who are there working a long night shift or weekend shift or day shift, and and want to move up but may not have a leader who's willing to grab you by the hand and bring you in and teach you all the things that you would need so that you can later take their position when they retire. I hope that you'll join the HRA. I hope that you'll strive to get your CRA, your Certified Radiology Administrator designation, and that I'll see you on LinkedIn and you're happy and you're making diagnostic imaging a better place for all of the rest of us. All right.